Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. I hope you had a great day. Let's take a look at some new malicious compliance stories, where people conform to the letter but not the spirit of a request. The first story is called Work Ends at 5. Many years ago I used to work as a web developer at a medical center, where the types of people in that organization were, let's say, tenured. Many comfortable people who have been working there for 8+ years. Not the least of all was our manager, who had been there for 20+ years and fancied herself a dictator. I was the youngest there, followed by the other developer. Engineering was a team of 2, myself included. We had content creators, support people, designers, etc. But the engineering was just me and this other person. We'll call her Lucy. Lucy and I would show up around the same time every day, between 9 and 9:30. No big deal, we thought, since we typically ate quick lunches at our desk and stayed long after 5 to actually get some focus time in and get stuff done. Our manager typically showed up early around 7:30 or 8 and would leave the office at 3:30 or 4 to skip traffic. Now, at some point our manager was on some sort of power trip and decided it was necessary to call a full team meeting to inform us that work starts at 9, not 9:15, not 9:30, but 9. I was young and decided to fight this tyranny and asked her what time does work end, to which she very calmly stated 5. So I asked how come she leaves at 4. She explained that she shows up early and therefore gets to leave early. I was on autopilot because the next thing I said was, but I thought work starts at 9, so how come you show up early? She explained that she's made special arrangement with the higher ups and therefore she is exempt from the rule. So Lucy and I dropped it, but we decided to show up exactly at 9 every day, take a full hour for lunch and leave exactly at 5. Meetings all day and work due tomorrow? Sorry, but work ends at 5. Working on an issue where stopping halfway means it would take longer to pick it up tomorrow? Sorry, but work ends at 5. About a month of this and our backlog is piling up, our clients are complaining and my manager is fuming at our reduced output. She sits us down and asks why this is happening. We calmly explain that with meetings and our lunch and work starting at 9 and ending at 5, there's just not enough time in the day to get stuff done. She dropped the policy the next day and instead issued a core hours policy of 10 to 3, where everyone is expected to be in the office then. The next story is called Screw Off. I was quite new to the hotel and very new to room service when this happened, so the chefs hadn't gotten to know me yet. I was waiting on an order, the only room service order, and the kitchen was not quiet. It wasn't busy, but there were a few orders queued up for the restaurant. I had been waiting for the order for maybe 7 or 8 minutes and had picked a couple of quick, easy jobs to do while I waited. Not wanting to start anything else in case I didn't have time, I approached the sous chef at the window. How long for that order, chef? Screw off. Something about the way he said it didn't cause me to instantly get angry. I was a bit confused and thought maybe he thought I was rushing him, so I asked again differently. I'm just wondering how long I have before the order is ready. I said screw off. Okay, now I'm angry. You want me to screw off? No bother, mate. I walked over to the room service station, grabbed the trolley and went up to the 7th floor in search of the room service trays. The building is shaped like a U and the service elevator is smack dab in the middle of the U. So when checking the floors you need to pick one direction and walk until near the end, as there are little alcoves designed to hide the trays so it looks less dirty, to an extent. So you need to walk one side, double back round to the elevator and repeat for the other side. There are around 90 rooms per floor, so it's at least half a kilometer walked per floor. I walked all 6 floors that had rooms on them. Ordinarily I would grab 4 to 5 trays and pop back down to clear them off, but screw that noise. I pile about 10 trays precariously until it looks like Wile E. Coyote's last attempt to catch Roadrunner and take my trolley back down. I arrive back downstairs a good 30 to 40 minutes later and can hear the echoes of the chef screaming room service half the hotel away. I stroll into the kitchen and walk towards the porter station to unload dirty dishes and the sous chef finally spots me. Where the heck have you been? I've been calling you for 20 minutes. I went to clear the floors. I asked you how long and you wouldn't answer. I can stand around all day for one order. I have other things to do. If I ask and you tell me 10 minutes, I'll be back in 9. If you tell me 2 minutes, I won't even leave. I'll find something here. But if you tell me to screw off, I'll do whatever I deem to be urgent. He doesn't answer. I can see he's not happy, but he's thinking. The moment seems to drag on. Finally, he starts laughing. Didn't expect that. He turns round to the chefs and says, "This is ruined, I need a new one straight away." Then he turns back to me and politely says, "2 minutes." Not to push my luck, I unload the trays at breakneck speed and grab the new tray for this order and move to the window after 90 seconds. The fallout, he is actually a great guy and we got on like a house on fire after that. He would always tell me how long and we were actually the most efficient pairing. I have no idea why he was like that at the moment it happened, but he moved past it pretty quickly and was usually in a great mood. He would sing and dance when it was crazy busy to keep himself hyped up on adrenaline, and we had plenty of laughs before I moved on about 8 months later. The third story is called "You Told Me To." This happened back when I was 18 and 19, so the best part of 15 years ago. I was working for one of the big 4 supermarkets in the UK, doing a 5 PM to 10 PM shift 4 nights a week. I was on the beers, wines and spirits section. In October I went to the warehouse to get some more stock to put out. The phone rang at the BWS section of the warehouse, which was behind a locked door because of theft. I answered it and it was the store manager. The conversation went a bit like this. "Why aren't you in your department?" "I'm getting more stock to put out." "If we got fined £5,000 for you not being there, would you pay it?" "Wouldn't it just be cheaper to have someone else work alongside me than pay a fine? I don't want you leaving the BWS section during your shifts unless you have someone to cover." "So stay there all shift?" "Yes." Brilliant, just brilliant. The first time in 18 months that the store manager stays late and has a shift overlap mine, he has a go at me for doing my job. Then I remembered that I was a lazy sod and I'd just do what he said. So for the rest of my shift I just stayed at the section, didn't get anybody to cover at all. At the start of my shift everybody else was on checkouts and the late crew was never willing to lend a hand. So it started in October, then November, maybe a few £100 in lost sales every night and a backlog of stock that would have to be sorted out the next morning. Then came the best part, December. As you might know, people like a tipple around Christmas and New Year. Supermarkets also like to put offers on alcoholic drinks around that time too. I wasn't allowed to get more stock to put out, so certain vodkas, gins, whiskies, wines, ales, champagnes, etc. all sold out. I knew there was plenty of the stuff in the back, but I wasn't going to disobey the store manager, especially when I'd been doing such a good job until now. So those few £100 a night turned into thousands a night. I estimated that in the week leading up to Christmas I'd cost the store around £50,000 in 20 hours. That wasn't solely from lost alcohol sales, but the number of people who just dumped their shopping carts and left without buying anything. New Year passed with the same story, and Valentine's Day, and the entirety of March. Then, 2 weeks before Easter, the store manager stayed late to talk to me. Didn't bother when we were losing loads of sales, only in the few months before his contract renewal. "Why haven't you been putting stock out for the last 6 months?" "You told me not to." "Why haven't you had anyone else cover?" "I tried, but nights weren't interested." "So why didn't you just go and get any stock?" "You told me not to." "I didn't mean it literally." "So why did you say it?" During that conversation he didn't explicitly tell me to change what I was doing, so I didn't. Easter passed, as did his contract renewal date. At the start of June, the former deputy manager was now the store manager. The ex-deputy manager stayed late to talk to me on her second week in her new position and told me to go back to doing what I was supposed to be doing. I said okay mom and went straight into the warehouse. I forgot to mention that my mom was the deputy manager and hated the store manager because of how he treated the younger members of staff. She let regional management know about it at the annual review. The last story is called Hair in the Soup. I worked at a crazy popular restaurant with a huge outdoor deck on the ocean. It was a river leading to the ocean, but as we sat in the south at the time, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. This place was right next to the cruise ship terminal, so we'd literally watch thousands of people disembark and hundreds head for our restaurant at the same time. Needless to say, we'd be packed with a line out the door at these times. A group of 6 comes in, and we want to sit on the ocean. Okay, you and everybody else. I tell them it's a 30 to 45 minute wait unless they want to eat indoors, which is quicker. They grumble, but they can see we are swamped and begrudgingly accept the page I give them, insisting they need to sit on the ocean. You're willing to wait, no worries. I inform them that ticket times right now are currently higher than normal, being that the cruise ship just dropped off hundreds of people. They say that's fine. Great, hang out over there and I'll buzz you. 20 minutes go by and a younger lady with long and curly red-headed hair from the group approaches me at the front desk, waving the pager around. Is this thing broken? This thing must be broken. We've been waiting for an hour. No, you haven't. We have OpenTable, a reservation system that tracks your status in real time. I spin the computer around to show her that, in fact, you've been here literally 21 minutes, and you're going to have to wait at least 10 to 20 more minutes. She throws a minor hissy fit in front of some other guests in the lobby, but they are definitely not on Team Merida. Back to the waiting area she goes. We get them set at a picnic table on the front water, prime real estate. I was about 40 minutes from when I quoted her, so I had 5 to spare. The rest of her group is happy with the spot and looks hungry and ready to order. I motion over the server, Leah, and say let's get this order in quickly. Not good enough for the miss. She again complains that they waited an hour. Nope, 40 minutes, and that they should get free appetizers at the very least. Now, I will always admit a mistake on our part and make it right, but we quoted her, gave her the best table possible and still came in under time. This is business as usual. But sometimes I'm a nice guy and realize people are hungry, low blood sugar and need some love. So I ask her, have you ever had she crab soup? She looks bewildered and shakes her head. So I say, I'm gonna bring you some she crab soup. The group orders appetizers and entrees at the same time. Leah asks if they wanted to bring it all together. No, they say, bring the appetizers first, then fire the entrees. Leah does just that, and it takes about 20 plus minutes for them to come up. Since we have a problem child, I run the apps personally. Put fried green tomatoes, crab cakes and of course the delicious she crab soup on a tray and run it out to them. I drop the apps on the table and like a scene in The Matrix, I watch one of Brave's curly red 10-inch hair slow-mo fall from her own head into the bowl of soup I've just presented to her. She looks down and freaks out. Your hair is in the soup, this is disgusting, you need to remake this entire order. Y'all, I'm bald, I shave my head every day, you could pluck your eyebrows while looking at the back of my head. As gently as I can, I tell her I watch her own flowing, luxurious lock fall into the soup and insist it's not mine. She is in outrage, calling me a liar and insisting that I did this on purpose because I didn't like her. She demands I remake the entire order. The rest of the table is uncomfortable, see she's in her mini rage world and insists it's fine, let's just eat. Me? Nope. So I said, yes ma'am. And I scoop everything off the table onto my tray. Apps, beverages, plates, silverware. Let's start over and hopefully we can get off on a new foot. By the way, I mentioned that ticket times were long as the cruise ship just docked, so it may be a while to get a new course of appetizers to you. We'll do our best, as busy as we are. I'll have some new beverages out to you as soon as Leah slows down. I go into my kitchen and tell my slam sous chef Brian that I needed a refire on that ticket. He is a loud and angry dude and initially screams at me, but on the plus side he's also incredibly vindictive. So when I tell him this one is about sending a message, he smiles and puts the ticket at the end of the line. 2 hours later the table finished and left Leah a 30% tip. Guess who didn't pay the bill? The worst part of the story, she never got to try the she crab soup. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content. And if you do, don't forget to hit the bell button so that YouTube sends you regular notifications of the videos that I publish. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.